conflict. It's not hard. And the more alcohol you throw on it, the more conflict and the more they're going to cry. So, a lot of the episodes are criers. So the only takeaway from it is, if you're asked to be on a reality show, you're probably going to turn into a different person than you went in as. You'll have more hair extensions. Your lips may be plumper, but your heart's not going to be quite as big. It seems like they sell their soul a little bit.
I could see that. Were you shocked like when you were in it, or was it because like it was like a 4-hour thing it was supposed to end, or was it really when it came out and the editing and you're like, wait, because I've been on a lot of reality shows too. Like you go to a party, like you said, you have friends that are on them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not featured. Even if you speak, you're like, no one cares about you. You're not on the show. Yeah. So like, did you realize what was going on, or was it when it came out, you're like, wait, like I am the whole show?
Honestly, at first, I just thought they were really rude. I thought Kyle was rude. I thought she was demanding. When she said, I should have pulled out my credit card, she'd never even make my list. I blocked her on Instagram. It's like, in what world, Kyle? In what world? So I will take up free rent in that woman's head for the rest of her life because she knows what I said is true, or it wouldn't bother her as much. Yeah.
And you stand by the fact that you say Mauricio will never fulfill her emotionally.
I already know why. It's a very small town right there. It's just, she works very hard, from what I've been told and seen, to bury stories that involve him. So whatever, it's her life. Either I hope she's happy if she goes down that path and they're able to end up together and that she's content. Good for her. That seriously, like, good for her. I don't actually wish her ill. I think she's rude as fuck, but I don't wish her ill. If she is doing all of this and putting this much energy into covering up a bad relationship, that's going to physically take a toll on her, and it'll manifest in her physically, which worries me more, that's what's happening. And I don't actually want her to go through what her mom went through. So out of actual, and I'm saying this legitimately concerned, I hope that she gets to a place where she could just make it about her and her husband and get real with one another and have a good life and not try to bury the flaws. Flaws are okay. We're people. We're supposed to have flaws, and it's what makes us interesting. And people out there, I think the audience, they're pretty good bullshit detectors. They know on who they're watching on reality shows that are just full of it. They know it. My husband did make me promise after Beverly Hills that I'll never get my lips injected. So I promised him I wouldn't do that.
Well, I do think at this point, the audience can kind of figure out who's bullshit. And you're saying like stories, and you're implying like just infidelity is what you are implying.
Yes, in the most colorful of ways. And, whatever, it's their story. I hope she figures out how to navigate it. And that would be good. My relationship, that's my business. That's where I have to put my energy into. And I've been married to my husband for 29 years, and I will say I love him. He's my life. Have I wanted to throw him in front of a bus at times in life? Yeah. Has he probably felt that way about me? Probably. That's marriage. That's just what being in a long-term relationship is, and that's okay. And it's okay to say that, because people out there know that that doesn't mean that you're not madly in love with your partner. It means that sometimes things aren't as good as they are other times, and that's okay. So I do hope she gets to that place where maybe she can just use it, maybe even to teach other people how to just let their wall down and just be. It's kind of freeing.
It's kind of free, and you get a vibe of like something physical.
Oh no, I've actually met people that were very good friends of his. Yeah.
Wow.
So I went to, it's hard. It's a hard one to touch. I'm happy to say something off the air. I will say there was an article Perez Hilton years ago had released, and she put the kibosh on it pretty quickly that pretty much summed up what's been going on. And she did not want that out there. And then I did get some direct messaging from a woman who shared her paperwork from her lawyer against them, Kyle and Mauricio. So I know they got a lot going on. I know she's a public figure. Again, it is what it is. That's her party to take care of. I've got my own. I got my husband. She's got hers. She just might want to mind the store a little bit closer.
Did you get like a positive vibe? Like you say, you can go on vibes from anyone there that night, like Lisa Vanderpump, Kim, Taylor. I mean, I know there was a lot going. I figured maybe somebody sitting there, Alice, got like a positive.
Oh my God. Okay. Let me, in a nutshell, sum them up. Vanderpump, well, she needs a lot of things. She needs a good tune up. She needs a cabana boy. I'll just leave that with her. But she just feels above everybody. I got it. No worries. So yeah, I was disinterested in her. She was sort of trying to be fake cordial in the beginning, but I picked up the vibe that she was kind of being a bitch. I'm like, oh, is this where it starts? Okay, great. And then we had Kyle, who is just this toxic energy that permeates, and she needs to be loved by fans, kind of like Camille, and it's how they fill that hole inside of them. And she just felt angry to me. Like everything about her just felt, and also that was her chance. And mind you, that branch of the franchise was her idea. She came to them with the Beverly Hills version. She owns points on that show. She has a vested interest in keeping that stuff stirred very, very, very swirly, because that's her bread and butter. She doesn't have a skill. That's it. So I get that. Just wish I'd never met her. Just I don't know, maybe in another lifetime. Anyways, then there was Taylor. I couldn't stop looking at her lips. I mean, I know this sounds stupid. She looked like Mrs. Platypus on Mr. Rogers. I just kept looking at the deck bill, and energy wise, I kept getting on them that it's women like that made people commit suicide in high school. You know, they had that mean girl vibe about them that is palpable. And when they're in numbers and they're a pack, they're even worse. They were in a pack. And then she went through her husband and his suicide and all of that. And I thought maybe she'd come out softer,